Cory Booker was elected to the Senate in 2013 after serving as mayor of Newark, New Jersey for more than 7 years.
And Senator Booker is with us now at the table. We should mention that Gayle is good friends with the senator and has supported him in the past. Great to have you at the table.
I'd like to think still friends.
Yeah. Was that a past tense?
I'd like to think that hasn't changed.
It's still going.
Let's see what happens after
Yeah.
this.
Exactly.
Let's see how that goes.
Listen, I don't want to spend too much time talking about the president, but to really go against him, you have to get the nomination, right? And you're adding your name to a growing list of Democrats who want to run for president.
Yes.
Kamala Harris, Julian Castro, Elizabeth Warren. What do you bring to the table that differentiates yourself from them?
Well, I have a very unique political path. In fact, the Wall Street Journal said I'm only the 21st American ever to go straight from being a mayor of a big city to being a senator. And all my life, from the time I got out of law school, I've been running towards some of the toughest problems that people said couldn't be solved, from taking on slumlords to beating them, to being mayor of a big city during a recession when the economy was falling out, but yet we brought about Newark, New Jersey's biggest economic development period, creating thousands of jobs, opportunity, improving our schools. So actually managing something, running it through crisis, and getting to Washington and still being able to bring people together to solve problems like criminal justice reform or getting investments in low-income areas all around the country.
I do want to get back to the president for a second, though, Cory, because he says that I know him. He seems to imply that he knows something about you or has something on you. What do you think this means? Well,
I think every American knows about being underestimated, demeaned, or just put down. And it's something I faced all my political career, having in Newark going up against the machine. And so, look, history of our country is a history of people underestimating this nation and we doing impossible things. And so we don't need a president that's going to put down people or divide people. This is really one of those times in American history. I think we need a revival of civic grace and bringing people together. And that's going to be one of the major themes of my campaign.
How do you, reviving civil grace, it sounds great.
Yeah.
But a lot of Democrats say we are past that time in politics. This is not a let's all reason together. And that the nominee for the party needs to be the kind of person who can operate in that environment.
Well, clearly, again, my career has been fighting and overcoming very difficult political opposition. But we live in a country right now where we have a common pain, whether you're Republican or Democrat, from medical care to working full-time jobs and still being below the poverty line. We have so much common pain in America, but what we've lost is that sense of common purpose. And so more than ever, we need leadership that's going to remind people that we have a common urgency in this country. We have to find ways of putting indivisible back in this one nation.
But let me ask you a specific question about an issue.
Sure.
You support Medicare for all. You say we need to have a common purpose. How many Republican votes in the Senate are you going to get for a Medicare for all? Most people would say the number you're going to get is 0. And unless you get rid of the filibuster, it's not going to pass, even if you have 51 Democratic
Well, this is
votes.
where I disagree. I've gone across this country, sat with Republican farmers, with independents. Everybody agrees that the United States of America, we should never have somebody who does not get access to care because they can't afford it. This idea that health care is a right is popular on both sides of the aisle. Now, there's many Senate...
Why not just strengthen Obamacare? Why do you have to go all the way to Medicare for all?
But again, this is what I'm saying. First of all, a lot of people use that term, and there's differentiation about what they actually believe. I know there's pathways that are supported by the majority of Americans that massively expand access to health care and lower the costs. And that's what we need to be focused on. Where is that common ground?
A chicken in every pot is very popular as well. Mm-hmm. How much would Medicare for all cost?
So Norah, a couple things. First of all...
Just quickly, just so that people know how much it would cost.
But again, right now we know, even the CBO says, if you lower Medicare to allow 50-year-olds to get into it, you can actually not only save the government money, but you can lower premiums for all Americans. And this is the thing, we're not talking directly to issues that can expand access to care and create affordability. And to say that it can't be done in Washington...
I'm just wondering if Democrats are having an honest conversation while they are promising what sounds good. And it should be a universal right that people have access to health care. But if it's $20 and $30 billion over 10 years, no one's having that discussion about how that will be paid for.
And Norah, I'm having that discussion, and I'm shown in my record, short time in the Senate. People told me when I got to the Senate, you could not take on mass incarceration. Oh, it sounds really good to end mass incarceration. Working across the aisle, we got a bill done in the last Congress under this president that actually started the first attack on mass incarceration. What my career has shown, from people giving up on Newark, New Jersey, to getting major things done in Washington, is that when you bring people together, when you fight to find that common ground, you can get things done that make a real difference.
Can we talk about the Virginia governor? Because I know you've campaigned with him, and it seems the more he talks, the worse it gets. You have called for him to step down. Would you personally call him and say, maybe is the time? What are your thoughts now?
Listen,
that the more he talks, his story keeps changing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is drawing up a painful part of our past. And he should step down and start his road to redemption. Being governor of a state is not an entitlement. I believe in the ideas of redemption, and we should not be judged by the lowest points in our past. But the reality is, this is hurtful, painful. It's a betrayal of public trust. He should step out of that position and begin to try to
You said that as someone who knows him. Do you think you should call him and say that? I know a lot of people
I have called publicly for him to resign. I've joined a chorus of their senators. I talked to local leaders there in the state.
And if he doesn't step down?
I think that he will fail in what he swore an oath to do, which is to serve the people of his state. I do not think he has the capacity to serve Virginia right now. He should recognize that. This is not about him. This is about what's in the best interest of the Commonwealth, and he should step away from that job.
Senator Booker, we're just getting started on the debate on all these issues. I hope you will come back so we can have a more fruitful discussion about all the other issues too that I know that you have dug into in the Senate and will as a president.
If I don't come back, Gayle will not talk to me.
We would like you to come.
Friendship continues.
Yes. So far, so good.